In Module 4, we're going to look at quality performance tasks. The information for this presentation comes from the book Creating and Recognizing Quality Rubrics. A couple things to look for is symptoms of a poor task, and I can relate to a few of these from my own experience. One being that a poor task means that a teacher must explain what is expected multiple times, and I can recall many times having to spend an entire hour restating what students need to do because they didn't really have a clear idea of it from my task explanation. Another thing is poor tasks mean that the task takes much longer to complete. Again, I can recall my own experience, tasks that I thought would be done in a week taking sometimes 2 weeks or more because they were not well explained. So what can we do to plan for task quality? First of all, to ask yourself, can this target be assessed through performance? If it's something that simply requires students to know or understand, it makes no sense to spend a lot of time developing a performance assessment for that target. The book identifies 3 criteria for good tasks. First one is the content. A quote that I put in this slide says, "The art of crafting a quality task centers around providing guidance without over-scaffolding." And the most useful part of this criteria was the 4 parts of a task. What knowledge do students need to use? What performance or product are they going to create? What materials do they need to use? And how much time do they have to complete the task? The book gives a great example from Stiggins. Using a stopwatch and a measuring tape, you are to use your knowledge of the physics of motion to determine the percentage of vehicles that exceed the speed limit as they pass the school. Then you are to write a report in which you explain your experimental design and share your results. The second criteria for a quality task is the number of tasks. How many times do students need to do this? And the key thing here is the closer the performance is to an important level of achievement, the more tasks are required. So if you have an idea that students are close to being proficient, you probably need more measures or more tasks in order to make that decision. And finally, the third criteria is the accuracy of the tasks. First of all, the task resources required need to be available to all students. It's not fair that students who have access to some resources are going to be able to perform at a higher level. And also, the task completion shouldn't be dependent upon skills that are unrelated to the target. So particular cultural or language advantage shouldn't figure into the measurement of the student's performance.